for people that don't know what IDEMA is, it's an acronym for these 5 stages. So the I is ideate. Everything we start out by ideating, then we discover the ideas, then we execute the ideas, then we maintain those executed ideas, and then we audit those maintained ideas. And it's a cycle, right? And the idea is that everything starts and moves through those steps, whether we acknowledge them or not. I've just sort of labeled what's already real, right, in a particular way. And there's other frameworks out there that do something similar. But the way that we designed that was we were stuck between project management, the chaos of not having clear project management, and having project managers like run away screaming in the chaos. So we sat down and was like, okay, all these project managers are leaving. Maybe the problem's us. So we came up with this. But what I discovered is IDEMA was a great process for me as a creative person to have structure. So someone who's more naturally inclined to like bounce around the world in all different directions, this was enough structure that gave me direction, but also freedom. And it's this underlying framework that is in all of what I do. Every project management, everything, my freelancing, my client work, that's underneath it in a very intentional way.
Well, IDEMA for me, the way that I relate to it is if you've ever watched people that are competitive in the area of surfing or being on a surfboard out in the ocean and talking about, the bigger waves, the ones where people are trying to catch these giant waves, there's the trying to find the right wave, getting out under your own power, getting adjusted and everything so that you can maybe catch a wave, or maybe you're going to do it quite right. But there are also people that will take you and they will pull you behind a ski-doo out into the ocean. You're behind them and they pull you to the right place so that you're aligned just right. And then they let you go and they get out of there so they don't deal with the wave. And now you are primed in the perfect spot. And if anything goes wrong here, it's not because they didn't put you in the right spot. Something's going on with you. Right.
Yeah.
So when I think about IDEMA has never failed me because it's broken down and its components can't be any more broken down. In my opinion, each category along the way has been taken to its core. It has a very specific purpose, and those purposes haven't gotten muddled over time because it's been named and labeled. So IDEMA does what it does. It doesn't get convoluted. It doesn't have a bunch of extraneous stuff to it. So when I think about which one of those areas am I working in, it's very similar to the writer's garden. Where in the garden am I stepping in? What is it I'm expecting to see there? What type of function am I expecting to have to do while I'm there? And if I understand what's going on and I'm prepared to have things be easier for me because I have a system, I go in less stressed. I go in much more susceptible to getting into a flow state. Improv talks a lot about, or in improv, I talk a lot about flow state because what you want is to get into a place where everything's just going because it's all being written in the moment and everyone's trying to be aligned together to create something together and move forward with the story. So I pay a lot of attention to flow state. And if I can get into a good flow state of writing and stay there, and it's because of a system, that's gold.
Yep. Yeah, I think the flow state is also important in writing because that's when we often are communicating our thoughts in the best way. And so if we can have systems that don't stop us from getting in the flow state, but keep us there, it's amazing. And now I want to try surfboarding surfing the way that you described it, because I have tried it. It's very difficult. But yeah, I want to start using that in my writing, especially because I think we often miss that last step, the auditing, when you go back and you look over what you've written or what you've done.
Yeah.
And and revise and see where things fit. And yeah, I think that's a really important part of the whole process that can get ignored sometimes.